Hello, and welcome to an episode of Drinking the Kool-Aid. This is a comedy podcast dedicated to the mysterious. My name is Cassidy.
My name's Amanda.
And I don't have my glasses on today, so we're getting crazy with it.
Oh, are you?
We're just living life free,
Okay.
free balling.
You're blind and fancy free.
Yeah, who cares?
Just the way I like you.
I don't need to see what's going on out there. It's bad enough.
Honestly, you're probably in the best position at this point.
I say, seen enough. Thanks, though.
You said, hear no evil, speak no evil, see no
Yes.
evil.
Oh, I will be speaking evil.
Yes. Well, of course.
Because that's what I do professionally.
Of course. I would not expect anything less, obviously.
But seeing... Oh, speaking of speaking evil.
Speaking of hearing evil outside my door, my cat is meowing.
And it's her most evil cat, Tesla.
Aggressively.
He's so evil.
I mean, honestly, it makes sense because I didn't change his name from Tesla.
That's true.
It
Oh
really
my gosh.
does make a lot of sense now.
And he's just filled with the evil spirit
of Elon?
Of Elon.
Oh my God, is my
no.
cat Elon Musk?
Do we need to do an exorcism?
Oh, no. Tesla, no. Please.
He's just out there like, I am become meme. Shut up.
Guys, I didn't know.
She didn't know.
I didn't
How
know.
could we have known? This was years ago. This is back when we just thought he was the fun guy who made cars.
Exactly. And I didn't name my cat for the record. I just didn't change it.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's on me.
That is, yeah.
Okay, let me go shut him up, though,
Yeah.
for real.
We'll take a brief intermission. Now that I've got you alone, have you ever wondered what it's like to smell space? Check out our Patreon, patreon.com/drinking the Kool-Aid, and watch us smell space. And she's back. Sorry, we're back from our commercial break.
Did you do something without me?
I was just doing a little commercial break for our
Oh.
Patreon while you were gone.
Oh, that's a pretty good break.
Right? That's okay.
Did you talk about space?
I talked about space.
Oh, okay. So we haven't recorded since.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. We missed last week because I don't know if it was food poisoning or like 24-hour flu or what it was.
Or
I had been traveling, or space.
maybe it was space.
I was in space, kinda.
I was going to say somebody with the hex that they have on you.
Yeah, put down that voodoo doll. I've suffered enough. I don't know what I did to you, and I'm so sorry. But yeah, I was so sick. The fluids that were happening, you don't even want to know.
I am upset that I do know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I had to throw up into a Vons bag. It was a whole thing. It was terrible. Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
But anyway, that's why we couldn't record. And then Amanda was going insane. So
Me?
I knew she was in a bad spot because usually when if one of us gets sick or whatever, we're like, okay, well, we'll feel it out for tomorrow or we can release late, right? She immediately texted back, it's fine. I'll just post that we're skipping this week. And I was like, oh, she needed this.
Yeah. That day I was like, okay, but the following 3 days,
You knew.
no good.
You knew it was going to be bad news bears.
No good.
Yeah. Because once again, like this happens a lot, someone gets sick or take the dog to the vet or whatever. Like we have stuff that happens on recording days where we're like, okay, well, let me know tomorrow. We'll feel it out.
We're human.
We're human. Things happen, right? And that's the best part about being your own boss. You don't have to be a dick to yourself. You can
So
say,
true.
hey, you're allowed to be sick. You're allowed to take your dog to the vet. You're allowed to need to go to the urgent care or whatever you need to do, right? You're allowed to have your eyes swollen, so swollen you can't be on video today.
I have to be honest, like probably before this time, like every other time that something happened, I would beat myself up. Like if you were sick or I were sick or something happened, I'd be like, oh my gosh, like we didn't post an episode. This is horrible. Like beat myself up over it, like feel literally so bad.
And that's happened like twice that we've not posted an episode.
I know, but it's just like and then like anytime someone would message me and be like, where's the episode? I would just feel so horrible, which I still like, obviously like we want to give you guys episodes.
Yeah,
but
of course.
We are human and things do happen. And sometimes you just need that break,
Well, and it's like I was so sick and it sucked because I'm going to tell it today. I was really excited about my story. And like, so I was like actually really excited to do my story and like talk to you about it. And like, I had just been on vacation. I went to go visit my mom and my stepsister in North Carolina. I'd never been to North Carolina before. So I was like excited to talk to Amanda about that. And like, all this stuff. And so it really did suck.
Yeah, no, it did.
Because when it happened, because I woke up at like 4 a.m. Monday morning. I got in Sunday night really late at like midnight. I woke up at like 4 a.m. on Monday morning, throwing up, going to the bathroom, whatever. And you know, sometimes it's like, okay, maybe I just ate something, or maybe it's from traveling. I don't know. So I didn't text her right away. I wasn't like, this can't happen.
Yeah, you were like, I'm going to give it some time.
Yeah, because I was like, maybe I'll just get it out of me and I can like take a shower and drink some water and I'll be fine, right? Because sometimes that happens, right? And I texted her at like almost maybe 8:30, 9 a.m. And just even the fact that I was awake that early.
Oh no,
like,
the second I got a text from you, I didn't even look at it yet. It was like 8:30 and I was like, oh God.
I sent that text from my bathroom floor. After throwing up so much, and I was just shaking and sweating.
Also,
and
the best part about the text messages that I got from you over that like 10 minutes was that you thought I thought you were lying.
Well, because one time you did tell me I would have thought you were lying if I didn't see you throw up, because I threw up in her sink once.
Yeah.
Because that was the last time I had food poisoning, which was like 2 years ago actually now. But I threw up in her sink, like she saw me do it, and so I was like, because my fiance had food poisoning, and I was like, ha, sucker. I was talking so much smack, but we ate the same thing. It just hit me later.
I mean, yeah, and we have talked about that before, where sometimes you do want to be like, they're probably not telling the truth.
Yeah.
But I mean, as much as I was like, oh man, I was bummed, like obviously, naturally, but I was like, yeah, I believe you. I don't think you're lying to me.
Well, because I think that's just something we all have, like probably thanks to capitalism or whatever, or maybe because when we were kids and we used to try to lie to get out of school, and then when we really were sick, our moms thought we were lying, you know? That every time I'm sick, I assume everybody thinks that I'm lying, and I feel guilty about like taking time for myself, but I'm getting way better about that, and like clearly you are too, from like being able to take the week off.
Yeah,
and be
because
like,
I literally, instead of being like at first I was like, oh man, like I'm really bummed, right? Mm-hmm. Which I think is a natural reaction because I was excited.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we hadn't seen each other. Yeah.
But then I once I got past it, I was like, what? Like, it's okay. Mm-hmm. Like, why am I why do I freak out so much about that?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think it's just, once again, it's one of those mental things. Like once you realize it's not the end of the world, it's okay. You know what I mean? As long as you're not abusing it, as long as it's not like once a month we're missing an episode.
Yeah.
If we miss 2 episodes a year, I think everyone's going to understand that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, we don't do it because we want to. It just is.
Yeah, we like to release episodes.
Yeah, we love it.
And we like to record. Like we always talk about, it's like the best time of our week.
It really is. Like I've been so excited to like see you and talk to you and chit chat. And gossip.
We do love to gossip. Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I had a really good time on my trip. I didn't die in a plane crash.
You didn't. Thank the Lord.
I did have a very stressful flight back situation. On the flight back, and it was for the stupidest flight. So I was flying into Myrtle Beach, which is a really small airport. Mm-hmm. And so there's no straight flights basically anywhere. You have to connect to Charlotte, which is only like literally a 30-minute flight. It's so quick. That's the flight that they overbooked, was this little tiny baby
crazy
flight. Yeah. And the thing is, I was on the last flight out of Charlotte to LAX. So if I didn't get on that plane, I would have had to spent the night in Myrtle Beach by myself.
Because you had a connecting flight. So
yeah. And my mom and stepsister were already gone, so I would have been alone.
Did they not prioritize people that had connecting flights?
Everybody has a connecting flight.
Everyone did.
Like nobody's just going to Charlotte. Everybody
That's
had
fair.
a connecting flight. Actually, I got into an argument with this lady when I was getting off the plane.
Of course you did.
But whatever. Okay, I'll get to that part. So when I go to check in the night before, it won't give me my pass on my phone, which normally that's how you do it now, right? You just have it on your phone, and it says no, you need to go to the kiosk and print out your boarding pass and then go see the gate attendant. And I was like, that's not good.
You're like, bad omen.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what I did, but I'm sorry.
You're flagged. The government
that's what my mom thought. My mom goes, they're going to randomly select you, girl, because I do get randomly selected a lot.
They're like, we found your podcast, Drinking the Kool-Aid.
And we're so pissed.
And we know the things you've been saying.
We're actually so pissed right now. So...
what if they did that though? Like, what would you do?
I don't know. I would be like, I need a lawyer, I think.
Somebody call my lawyer. Good thing we have so many listeners that are lawyers.
So many. My brother's a lawyer.
Oh yeah.
My
ex-sister-in-law is a lawyer.
Yeah, my fake sister works for a law firm. Like, yeah. So I told my mom, I was like, no, I think they overbooked the flight.
That's crazy.
And so we get to the airport and I'm super early because my mom and my sister's flights are like 2.5 hours before me. But obviously we're all driving to the airport together. It's like a 45-minute drive to the airport. I'm not, So I was like, I can kill time. I'll just eat or have a beer or whatever. I go to print out my thing. It won't even print out my boarding pass. It prints out like a voucher thing that says like, go see the kiosk agent.
I would
like the gate agent.
Be so fucking stressed. I was panicking.
I was. And because I'm literally going, they're going to leave and I'm going to be here alone in a city I don't know, in a state I've never even been in. I don't know anybody here. Like, I wouldn't even know the first thing to do. Like,
we do have a lot of listeners that live in North Carolina.
I was technically at this point in South Carolina. I was in Myrtle Beach.
Well, we have listeners there too. People would have been like, come.
Yeah, I could have just posted on Instagram. Anybody got a couch?
Guarantee you there would have been people.
So I get this thing and I'm going, well, at least I'm here really early. So maybe I'll get to the gate first and be able to be like, hey, hook me up with a seat, right? Mm-hmm. So we get through security. We get to the gate. There's nobody at my gate yet because it's so early. It's like 4 hours till the flight. And so my mom
then I would have been like, oh, I'm for sure getting on. Like, hello.
No, there's no one at the gate. Like, there's no gate agent. There's nobody to talk to.
Got it.
So my mom and sister are like, oh, let's go get burgers. And like, maybe it was actually the beginnings of food poisoning or whatever was happening to me. But I was like, I'm too nervous to eat. And so I told them, I was like, I want to figure out my flight situation and then I want to eat. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
That's fair.
It's too much pressure right now.
It's freaking stressful.
Yeah. So
and flying is already stressful. So that just adds an extra element to it.
So a gate agent shows up. I go to talk to her and she goes, no. We're not going to do any. She was so rude. We're not going to deal with any of this. We're not going to work on any of this until 5:40 and then you'll figure out if you have a seat. It's like 4 p.m. So an hour and 40 minutes. And my flight takes off at like 6:20 or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. So
I'm like, thanks so much.
Yeah. And so I'm like I'm literally like stressing. I'm like sweating and like pacing. Like as soon as my mom and sister take off, I just like start like pacing up and down.
Yeah.
Like I'm stressed out. My tummy hurts. I don't like feel good. I'm like, I'm going to miss this flight. And then what am I going to do? I'm looking up other flights just in case. Right. And finally, 10 minutes before we're supposed to board, they give me a seat. And it's because somebody was so drunk, they couldn't sit in the emergency exit row.
Oh my gosh.
So not only did I get a seat, I got the emergency exit row. I was like styling. I had so much leg room for my little 30-minute flight.
I was going to say also for the shortest person on the flight. Yeah. That's so great.
But the flight obviously took off late because there was all this commotion because everybody was panicking about getting a seat and whatever. It was like so much going on. And
I'm stressed just thinking about that.
Yeah. And then, so obviously, there's one person who their flight to Charlotte Airport. Fuck you. Whoever designed that place, I hope you have acid reflux for the rest of your life. You fucking suck. That's the worst airport I've ever been in. Why in the world would I have a connecting flight in the same airline and have to walk over a mile to get to my second flight?
You did send me a very out of breath voice
memo.
I
was sprinting and I hadn't eaten anything because I was like so nervous about the flight. I didn't eat anything at the first airport. So my thought was, I'm just going to like, they have a bunch of little shops and restaurants. I was going to like stop by, there's like a Panda Express. I was just going to stop by Panda Express and get something to go and eat it on the plane. I didn't even have time. I literally walked up and walked onto the plane. And here's the thing, when you're in that airport, everybody's running.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, it's just poorly designed. Because everybody in an airport shouldn't be running. When I'm at LAX, maybe you'll see one person run and be like, oh, they're late for their flight. You don't see every single person fucking hustling around.
One time I had to run through LAX and it was horrible.
Yeah.
But it wasn't my fault. It was because we were going to Ireland and they switched our airline like last minute. And we had 10 minutes to get like so far to another terminal.
But even that's like, okay, understandable. It happens every once in a while. Every single flight at the Charlotte airport, if everyone's
running,
hustling.
So no one's hanging out in the Charlotte airport.
No, and the worst part is they have so many good food places. Like as I was running, remember I sent you a video because I was running to my flight on the way there too. I sent you a video. I was like, they have Panda Express. They have all these food places. I'm so hungry. And I was like, but I'm running.
Yeah, you were so out of breath in every video, every voice memo.
It was long enough. It was over a mile, and I know it because it was long enough and strenuous enough that my Apple Watch started tracking it as a workout. And I'm carrying my bag. Like there's just so much happening. Anyway,
and then you made it,
Airport.
and then you made it, and then got sick. So
And then I
it
got
was
sick,
really
yeah.
just bing bang boom, one
There's
after
a lot
another.
going on. Maybe that woman who was trying to bull rush me was a witch, and
She
cursed
honestly
me.
might have been.
She might have been. I don't know.
Damn, that's
But
rough.
I was so sad because all I wanted was to eat Panda Express,
You never got it.
and I never got it, which is probably for the best. My fiance said like, "Oh, maybe it's good you didn't eat because you might have brought on the sickness on the plane if you ate."
True.
Because I didn't eat till I got home. Yeah, so
And then you would have been vomiting.
on the plane, and it was like a 6-hour flight.
Yeah,
that would have been horrible.
That would have been horrible.
Yeah, and I was on a window seat too.
Well, welcome back.
But I made it, and I'm fine.
Here you are, and we're back, baby.
And it was cold in North Carolina, but I had fun.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
And I know you even went to the beach.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've just
man.
been here.
Just here sitting, thinking.
Yeah. Sitting and thinking.
Thinking.
And praying.
Dude, I went to Chipotle recently.
Did
and
you? Don't you know that Chipotle makes you sick every time
It
you
does,
eat
but
it?
I love it. I'm still going to eat it. I don't care.
All right, whatever.
It's worth it.
As long as you know.
It's worth it. I'm going to have a tummy ache and I'm going to live with it. But I went to Chipotle recently. It's so expensive now. And like, I didn't really think about it that much. Like I always heard people complaining about it, but my Chipotle hooks it up. So it's like worth it, right? That it costs, X amount now. It used to cost like $7. I used to actually,
Everything used to cost $7, Cassidy.
did you ever do this when you were a kid? Like before you really understood like how money worked, when you would like hear an amount, you'd be like, "Ugh, that's 10 McDoubles." Did you ever do that?
I don't know, because I'm very unfortunately careless with money.
Okay.
And
yes.
people are shocked when I tell them that I just put things in my grocery cart and I don't look at how much it
gives
costs.
me so much anxiety.
Yeah.
Every single
Someone
time.
was panicking about that the other day because I told them that. And they were like, "What is wrong with you?" And I was like, I don't know.
I don't even grocery shop in the store anymore. I do it through the app because that way I can literally count how much it's going to cost and go back and take things out and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I'm a psycho. So
But yeah, when I was a little kid, I used to count if something cost a lot of money, I would count it in Chipotle bowls. And if something costs a little money, I would count it in McDoubles. Those were my two amounts of money that I understood. Because like my Chipotle order was like about $10 because I would also get chips and guac, right? And like back in the day.
bougie.
Back in the day, that was like $10,
Yeah.
right? For my chicken burrito bowl, extra hot sauce, cheese, sour cream, white rice, black beans, corn.
You're a bougie little bitch.
And then chips and guac, it would be like just about $10. And then
What is it now? 30?
now if I get that, it's like 15.
Oh, okay. That's not as bad as I thought.
No, it's not that bad. Even when I get double meat, it's only like $18. It's not crazy. But like that if I get double meat, that's because I know I'm going to eat it for like 3 meals.
Isn't that scary though? That I'm like, oh, $18.
That's
scary.
so
cheap.
Yeah, that is scary.
Like that's my thought process.
Because to me, I'm thinking, well, that's 3 meals. I'm like counting it out. You would eat it all in one sitting and not even think about it.
Yeah, of course. First of all, I cannot. You think I'm going to eat that in 3 meals? Are you nuts? No. I devour my things. Okay.
Amanda, I tried to explain to Amanda leftovers once, and she was like, "I don't do leftovers."
I eat everything.
Because you're a meal eater. I'm like a picker. I like will eat all day, but I'll like
No.
eat whatever. But
Couldn't be me.
But yeah, those were my two measurements of money. McDoubles for cheap stuff
Well,
because
now
the McDouble is
McDoubles are
99
like
cents.
$5.
they're like
So I don't
$3.
know.
Honestly, easiest boycott I ever did
Like,
because they
that's
made that shit way too expensive.
That's crazy.
You can get like a good.
It used to be the dollar menu. The dollar menu is no longer $1.
Once again, you can get you can actually sit down at a restaurant and spend the same as you would at McDonald's. So
Bro,
you might as well go to the better place.
When the dollar menu turned into the value menu,
That's when we started failing as a
Go
country.
fuck yourself.
That's really where it started.
Literally. Fucking go fuck yourself. I hate you.
She's looking directly into the
I'm
camera
pissed.
saying
I'm
that.
pissed because things used to be $1, and then they were like, it's still the dollar menu, but it's $1.69.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, we're gonna change it to the value menu because it's going over $2. And then it was like over $3, and I don't even know how much it is now. But like,
Yeah.
disgusting.
Honestly, the only place I can like get a good amount of food for not that much money, the only two places really are Del Taco and Taco Bell.
I somehow spend $30 every time I go to Taco Bell. I don't know how.
Because you just order things. You don't.
Yes, I know.
You don't plan out. Like, once again, I always use the app and I go through and I see what rewards I have. I see what's
because
on
I
sale.
get nervous and I want to just order a bunch of things.
That's
and
why
then
you
I
use
think,
the app.
and then I think to myself, well, what if I'm hungry for more and I need to get more? And then somehow I'm spending $29.
But that's the thing. That's what the app is for. I always order enough where I have leftovers.
I have too many apps. And also, I'm not gonna have leftovers of Taco Bell, Cassidy.
You just said that you order more just in case you want more.
Yeah, and I eat it. I eat it. Even if I'm full and I'm gonna throw up, I still eat it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm a monster. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm a monster.
I don't know what to
She said,
tell
I'm
you.
a monster.
Oh, God. Anyway.
Honestly, thank God we were born when we were, because like I'm really into the Dust Bowl right now, and we both would have died immediately.
What's the Dust Bowl? Do I want to know?
The Dust Bowl, like the American event that happened.
I've told you this before. You thought I was lying. I didn't pay attention in history class. I almost failed.
You don't know about the Dust Bowl?
I don't know the Dust Bowl. I literally have no idea what that is.
Oh.
You thought I was kidding. I'm not kidding.
It was like an extreme weather event that happened for years in the middle of the country, like in
I
Oklahoma.
hate my life. Great.
And it was crazy. Like they were having these wild dust storms because there was issues with crop rotation and stuff because capitalism, once again, who's shocked. And it was literally causing these dust storms that were so bad that people were like, you literally couldn't be out in them. It was killing people. And then the dust was so bad that all the insects started moving into everybody's houses because even the bugs couldn't be out there.
You know, I'm starting to think that like I learned things in school, but they were so traumatic for me that I blacked it out.
Traumatic for you. Imagine how the Dust Bowlers felt.
No, I obviously, but I am a sympathizer. And I blacked it out of my brain.
I am a sympathizer. That was the funniest way you could have said that word.
Don't you know me at all?
No, I do.
I literally spent the entire last week and a half crying every single day about the anglerfish. Okay? Every single day I cried about her. I love her. And she died because she just wanted to see the sun.
Or she had gas.
What do you mean she had gas?
That's most likely why she was coming to the surface.
She had gas. She had to poop or fart?
No, more than likely she swallowed a fish that had a swim bladder. So those fish don't have swim bladders because they stay at the bottom. So more than likely she ate a fish that had a swim bladder, and then the swim bladder inflated and it brought her to the surface.
And killed her.
Yeah.
So either way, it's sad. She didn't know.
She didn't know. No.
She was a sweet girl.
But don't get me wrong. I'm totally into like whatever, get the symbolism down of I wanted to see the sun. There was actually a cartoon, like a, what am I thinking of? Not a cartoon where it's like
Comic?
a comic that was like that about an anglerfish coming to the surface years ago that used to always make me cry. That was like, I never would have known that this whole world existed or whatever.
And then it happened.
And then it actually happened. So like life imitates art, baby.
That's weird.
It is weird.
Well, I miss her. I hope she's doing okay.
And when I first sent
In
her,
anglerfish heaven.
when I first sent her to you were like, she's so ugly.
No, I said she was scary.
So scary.
And then when I found out that she was just the size of your palm.
Yeah, even smaller. She's just a
Oh my
little
God, she's a
girl.
little girl.
Yeah. Just a baby. I'm just a baby.
I just feel so bad for her. It made me kind of want to appreciate things that live in the ocean.
Wow.
Just her, though.
Okay. Okay, girl. Okay, angler.
Yeah. She got me.
I love that for you. Anything that'll work. Okay.
She got me.
Anything that'll work.
Anyway, I'm a sympathizer. You guys should know that.
Clearly.
Anyway, happy to have you here.
Happy to have you here. Oh, we want to say thank you
Oh, yes. We got some treats.
We got this Jinology book, an illuminated compendium of spirits and stories from the Muslim world. And who was it who sent this to us?
This was Rabia.
From Rabia. Thank you so much. I'm literally obsessed with like Islamic lore. I think it's so interesting.
Rabia
and
probably knew that.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, if you've
Yeah.
ever listened to this show, that like should not be shocking to you at all. I mean, it's just so different than what I grew up with, and it's just a part of the world I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? So like to me, it's just like so interesting, and there's so much lore to learn.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
all other cultures really are so interesting to learn about, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. I never understand people who like don't find that interesting. I'm like, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's so cool
It's
that there's
super
just
cool.
people who grew up with this stuff that it's as normal to them as the stuff that's normal to us, right?
It's like another part of like another aspect of this podcast like that I love so much is when people from other cultures or countries or whatever are in our DMs telling us about things
Oh, yeah,
that
totally.
they grew up doing or learning. It's so cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's so cool that we get to like
Experience
learn new
that,
things.
yeah.
Like it's things that I don't black out like I did in high school.
Yeah, and
You know, things that I want to learn more about.
I would like to think it's just because we have the best listeners in the world.
do.
And they're the nicest, coolest people
Yes.
ever. But also, like, everyone is so informative and kind. Like, every time I cover a story that's from a country or culture that, like, I'm not super familiar with, so I have to be like, I'm just going off what I read here. This is not, this is not my culture. I don't want to speak for them, whatever. And people have information on anything that I said. They're always so nice and so cool. And also just like, hey, thanks for covering it in the first place.
Yeah.
Instead of like, how dare, like, nobody's a dick about
No,
it. And I just
absolutely.
love that. And it's fun because I've learned so much. And I'm like that person who I'm always like, haha, I know everything, right? But I've learned so much doing this
Yeah.
podcast. It's been amazing.
No, it's amazing.
Thank you, Rabia. This is like, I'm so excited to read this.
Are you ready for your other gift?
Oh, yeah. Amanda said somebody sent something.
Okay. So one of our listeners, Megan,
Okay.
reached out when you had asked for a sign about people taking their shoes off.
Okay.
This is amazing.
Oh my God.
You're
I'm
gonna
so
love this.
excited. Wait, I'm so excited.
This is hand stitched.
Oh, I'm so excited.
All right, hold on. If you're watching on the YouTube, I'm going to show Cassidy for the first time live.
Okay. I'm so excited. No. This is so much better than a sign. Oh, I'm going to cry. You made this?
Hand stitched. Literally sent me pictures of them stitching it.
Okay. You made this. Oh my God. I'm going to cry. This is the nicest thing.
Isn't that so cool?
Oh, and it's like totally my style too. Oh my gosh, I love it so.
It's so cool.
This is so cool.
So it's a rug or
here, I'll hold it.
yeah. It's a rug that says "Put your fucking shoes here," and it is hand stitched by one of our listeners, and it is just incredible.
I understand now why you wouldn't show it to me before.
Yeah, I wanted to wait.
This is so amazing. Do you have like can we tag you on and like?
Isn't that amazing?
I'm obsessed with this. This is so cool.
I know. When I got it in the mail and I opened it, I was like, "Holy shit, this is so cool!"
And like this is just exactly my style. This is gonna fit in my house so perfectly.
I showed my husband, and he was like, "Your listener did not hand stitch that." I said, "Yes," and I showed Sam the pictures of Megan doing it.
I'm gonna need to see those later. Megan, thank you. This is beautiful.
I know, it's so cool.
Oh, I'm so excited because like the thing I want to do is I want to have people over more often. I just never really have people over at my house because the shoe thing freaks me out.
And you can have people put their shoes right there.
I love this. So I'm like, I don't even know how to appropriately explain it. I thought you were about to bring out like a little sign and I was going to love that.
Yeah.
And this is just, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Megan, you are so talented.
I know, isn't it so good?
And we're going to have this obviously on the Instagram
Yeah,
and
we'll
the
post a
YouTube and
picture.
everything. And we're going to tag, I don't know if you do this, like you make custom ones or if this is a hobby.
I'm not totally sure.
If this is, either way, you're incredibly talented.
I think
this is so cool.
I'm pretty sure Megan said they don't do it often, if I'm remembering correctly.
Well, you are very talented regardless.
It's amazing.
Oh my gosh, I'm so thankful.
I know.
This is like the best engagement present ever.
Isn't it so good?
This is so freaking cute.
When Megan first DM'd me kind of like a picture of it, I thought it was going to be a sign. I had no idea it was going to be a rug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so cool. I love it so much. Oh my gosh.
I know.
love this. Part of me wants to hang it on the wall and have a little like a little arrow, be like,
You
put your
could.
fucking shoes, just because it's so pretty. I don't want people to actually put their shoes on it.
I know, it's so pretty.
Wow, that is so cool. Wow, you guys are the best.
I know.
We have the best listeners ever.
We really do.
Like,
I'm also
away.
wearing earrings that one of our listeners made and sent, but I don't remember the name, so I'll get back to you on that.
Okay, let me see them. Oh, like looking at a little crystal ball.
Yes.
Cute with the little hands.
Mm-hmm. It's the listener who sent us the perfume.
Oh, the space
space
perfume.
perfume.
Yeah, we're going to do that next week.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous. Amanda said she had to hide it away because it was making her house smell.
Well, okay. So they sent us like an envelope and they sprayed the letter with the space perfume.
Got it. like we're away at war.
Yes.
And you're trying to remind you of
Yes,
home.
100%. So I opened it because I forgot that, like, I didn't think that was the letter, right? So I just opened it and immediately my car smelled. And I was like, oh my God.
Rolling down the windows.
And I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
So I bring it upstairs and I bring it in here and I'm like, holy shit, this is stinky.
Yeah.
Like just insanely stinky. And I put it in a like a plastic baggie, like a Ziploc bag, thinking that was going to conceal it.
Yes.
And I left it in here, hadn't come in here for like 3 days.
Oh no.
Come in here yesterday and I'm like,
it was like a bomb.
it was horrible. I had to like
you
air
crop dusted yourself with space.
I had to air it out. I was like, this is horrible. I was getting a headache. So I had to shove it away into a closet. So we'll open that another day.
Space dusted yourself.
I did.
Honestly, fuck those people who like fucked on the moon rocks and said they fucked in space. Fuck with that smell in the room.
Yes.
I'm gonna light that candle. You want to fuck on the moon, baby?
You want to fuck on the moon? Fuck lightheaded.
Yeah.
Okay?
And a little nauseous. With a weird meat fart smell.
Yeah.
But it's sweet.
Then tell me you fucked on the moon.
But it's a sweet meat fart. It's very confusing. Anyway, we did smell the candle. We did a whole video.
It is
it's
on Patreon. Yes.
Speaking of Patreon, we have a ton of stuff on Patreon right now. We are releasing our little, I don't even want to call it a recap, just discussion really about the Gabby Petito documentary, which I highly recommend you watch. If you are not, even if you're not on Patreon, you're not going to listen to us. I really do think it's an important thing.
Yeah.
For anybody. I don't care if you're a woman, if you're a man, if you're a child, if you're an adult, you should watch that documentary. There's a lot of eye-opening information when it comes to domestic violence.
Yes.
But we are going to have a discussion about that on our Patreon this week. We also have, like I said, the space candle video. We have another video. Oh, we have a Spilling the Kool-Aid, all about the woman from New York City who was in Pakistan, who I don't know if she got out of jail in Dubai, but as far as I know, that's where she is now.
Yeah, we don't know.
And we also have a bonus episode. That's a full 2-part bonus episode coming your way in the next week or so. And obviously, we will have a shot of Kool-Aid on there as well. So go to patreon.com/drinkingthekool-aid to check all of that out. We have subscriptions starting at $2 a month. And you do get content that is exclusive to Patreon, even at the $2 level, on top of ad-free episodes and the ability to message us, join in our community that is on there, which is a very lively community.
It is. Every time we post just one of our regular episodes on there, we are flooded with comments and we engage back with you.
And listeners engage with each other. So if you're somebody who listens and you go, I have this, I want to say this so bad, or I wish somebody did it, like you want to be in that comment section. And like I said, it's only $2 a month. And it might not seem like that much, but it makes a huge difference to us. So we really appreciate you guys. Speaking of Patreon.
Yeah, speaking of.
Let's welcome our new Patreon subscribers.
Let's do it.
Welcome to Emily K.
Hi, Emily.
Welcome to Jamie.
Hello, Jamie.
And welcome to Katie W.
Hello, Katie.
Thank you guys so much for joining our Patreon. Once again, this is the majority of the reason we get to keep doing this podcast. And we just totally appreciate you guys endlessly. You have no idea how much it means to us, really. Like, for real. For real.
For real.
Yeah.
We also have
a birthday.
Yes, ma'am. Let's see.
Ida, yes.
They sent us a message, and I guess I'll just read it out because it's super cute, I felt like. Hey, Amanda and Cassidy. It is my lovely friend and fellow cool kid, Kat's birthday on Thursday, and they are a huge fan and have been for years. 3 years ago, we were going on a little vacation together and I needed a podcast to listen to while we were on a ferry to calm my nerves. I am very afraid of big water and boats.
Oh, this part made me laugh so
Literally same.
so hard. This was so funny.
And I asked Kat if they had any recs and they enthusiastically recommended you guys, and I've been hooked ever since. Counterintuitively, I started on the episode where you guys talked about the Titanic. Don't know what I was thinking.
I messaged them back. I was like, that's actually the perfect, most hilarious thing you could have listened to on a ferry.
Also,
when you're scared.
Still to this day, one of my favorite stories I've ever covered.
Yeah, I think that is my favorite story you've ever covered. Yeah.
So it's all thanks to Kat that I became a cool kid. I was wondering if you guys would be so kind as to shout them out for their birthday, which is on the 27th. So that did just pass.
Yeah, sorry. It would have been right on time if I didn't have to be puking my guts out.
Yeah, it's all Cassidy's fault, so yell at her.
Be mad at me.
They recently got engaged to their wonderful partner and have been living their best life as the parent of 3 cute cats.
Okay, twin.
Okay, engaged twin.
When's your date? Because I just picked mine.
You did. So happy birthday, Kat. We hope you had the best birthday week ever, and we love you. Thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you so much, and happy birthday, Kat. Cool name. And also from Copenhagen. That's cool.
From Copenhagen, yeah.
Once again, cool places that we don't know anything about and we love to learn.
We love to learn.
And I love a little engagement twin.
Yes.
Yeah. I did just finally pick the date yesterday. And
You
so I had to tell everybody. And then now it's real. You know what I mean?
I'm thrilled.
So guys, we just have to keep the United States from completely crumbling for like another year and a month or so. Okay, can we figure that out?
I know.
I know it's rough out there.
It's rough,
selfishly,
and you decided to wait over a year. So that's on
it
you.
was either that or elope, and I know I'm not allowed to do that. Amanda already told me.
Listen, because people are going to come after me for that. You're allowed to do whatever you want to do. But selfishly, I would be like, what the fuck, you stupid bitch.
No, the problem is like I love the idea of eloping and then like having a reception some other time, whatever. But I just know myself. I know I would just never do it if I did that. And I selfishly, like, I need to have my father-daughter dance.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I need to have like my first dance. Like that's the kind of stuff. I'm like, that's what is in my head more than anything else. Well, on that note, how about we get started?
Let's get started.
Perfect.
Tell me a story.
I'll tell you how about I tell you a tale?
Tell me a tale.
Because I have a tale today.
Oh, it's a tale.
Oh, it's a tale.
A tale of
woe
and misery?
It's actually a legend.
Oh, okay, girl. I like that.
So today I'm going to be talking about the legend of the Flying Dutchman.
Fun.
Right?
Okay.
Once again, this is why I was like, I even have something I'm excited about and I already wrote it. I'm like, that's why I was like so sad I was sick because I was like really excited to tell you about this.
Yeah, that's really fun. Love it.
Okay, so my sources today were the Nautical Channel Organization, Encyclopedia Britannica, Ancient Origins, an article by Carrie Sullivan, NPR.org, and Wikipedia.
Perfect.
Okay, so the tale of the Flying Dutchman. The tale, I literally have it. A tale.
A tale as old as time.
Beauty and the Beast. I forgot the other words. So the tale of the Flying Dutchman is one of those like really classic like pirate stories. You've probably heard about it from Pirates of the Caribbean or SpongeBob SquarePants.
SpongeBob.
The Flying Dutchman is a great character. Actually, SpongeBob teaches like the younger generation. I don't know if they still make shows like this anymore about so much stuff. Like I know so many people who heard about Nosferatu for the first time from SpongeBob.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So just great show altogether.
SpongeBob teaching the kids since 2000. What? 2? I don't know.
Maybe.
It feels like it's been a long time.
A long time. Yeah. And you can also get a Flying Dutchman at In-N-Out Burger, which is just 2 burger patties with cheese.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Because you can get like your fries, animal style fries, Flying Dutchman on top. Like people will get that. Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. So if you're one of those people who thinks that the Flying Dutchman is the thing with the onions, it's not. You're ordering the wrong thing.
That's animal style.
No. Where you do like the onion wrap instead of the lettuce wrap.
Oh, what's that?
So people will get like grilled onions and like no bun and then get grilled onions. You know how like usually they wrap it in lettuce? You can do it with grilled onions instead.
That sounds good.
Yeah, apparently it's very good. But people mistakenly think it's a Flying Dutchman.
Guys, it's not the Flying Dutchman.
Flying Dutchman is just the burger patties.
The Flying Dutchman is... No, that's Blackbeard. Wait, in Pirates of the Caribbean, is he the octopus guy?
No, the Flying Dutchman or like the... Maybe.
Like the guy with the octopus tentacles for his beard. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I think that's him.
Is that him?
I don't quote me on that. I don't know, but I think it's him.
No, I thought it was the
Dead man tells no tale.
Yeah. I thought it was the first one was the Flying Dutchman, because we'll get into it, but I think it's the first one. The dead man's chest. Is that the first one?
Dead man's
I
toe.
literally just rewatched these movies too. I can't remember them. Okay.
Anyway, tell me the real.
So
the real
either
tale.
way, it has very old origins that are mixed with some truth and some mythology. So I kind of pieced together all of these different parts into one coherent story.
Fun.
That I'm about to tell you.
Ooh.
So sit back, crack open your grog.
Yes, your grog.
Your rum, and let's begin.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm in Pirates of the Caribbean right now.
I should have brought my Pirates of the Caribbean candle. I could have lit it.
Damn it.
I know.
You could have really set the scene.
I could have really set the scene. So this tale begins with our captain. Our captain's name is Captain
Hook.
Hendrik van der Decken. He's Dutch, of course. Imagine that.
The Dutchman.
The Dutchman, yeah. So he sails for the Dutch East India Company, which is a shipping company that would transfer goods back and forth from like the Netherlands area in Europe to the East Indies, which was a very perilous journey because you would have to go all the way down around the tip of South Africa to get over to like basically where like modern day Asia is.
Okay.
It just took a ton of time. It took like months. So in the year of 1641, Captain Verdecken and his crew were on the route when they get word that the Dutch East India Company actually made a settlement near the Cape of Good Hope in South Africa, which is that very tip of South Africa, for ships and sailors to go stay there as long as they needed to if the waters were particularly rough or there was a storm or anything was going on. This area was known for being extra turbulent and very dangerous. The waters were also shark infested, so this is just the last place that you would ever want to end up sinking or going overboard.
There is no place in the ocean that I would want to sink or go overboard. But sure, if that's the last place.
Well, the men are very stoked because they're like, yeah, that's way better than trying to sail through like a storm or a hurricane or something like that. And now not only do they have somewhere to go, they have a safe place to go that is paid for by their employer. So it's like win-win-win. Because like normally they would just have to dock and hope for the best wherever they were. But now they know they have like a safe place that'll have a bed and food and rum probably to keep them happy while they're waiting out whatever bad weather situation they might be in.
As long as you have your rum.
Uh-huh.
It'll all be good.
What does he say? Why is all the rum gone? That's what he says. You know,
I haven't seen
that guy.
Pirates of the Caribbean in so long.
Okay, low-key, I rewatched like all of them, like even like the new weird ones. They're good.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the new ones.
Yeah, because I played through all the Assassin's Creed games, and I played through like the Assassin's Creed's like pirate game, and I was like, oh, this is making me want to watch all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. And my fiance was working all night, so I was home alone, and I was like, fuck it, throw them on.
You're
and
like,
I
it's
literally
time.
watched like 4 of them, and I was like, these movies are good. I might do that tonight again. They're good. And who doesn't love Keira Knightley?
Who doesn't?
Right? It's Keira Knightley, right? Not the other one? Yeah, it's
Keira Knightley.
Sorry, there's
Not Natalie Portman.
not Natalie Portman. They just
Yeah.
look very similar. So as the ship is making its way closer to the Cape, the sea actually does begin to churn, and the calm winds turn into whipping winds in different directions. The men are struggling to keep the sails where they need to be, and they're afraid that it's only going to get worse. The sailors, though, they begin to whisper, and they're like, hey, this seems like the perfect time to maybe try out that new settlement that our bosses made at the Cape of Good Hope. If the weather's bad, Maybe we'll get a little R&R, get drunk, party a little bit, and then we'll get back on the ship and finish out our trip, It's a little intermission. And as they begin to round the Cape, the weather actually does get worse and worse. So the water is extremely turbulent. The wind is whipping the sails all over. The ship is listing from side to side. And they even feel like the sails are about to tear. That's how bad the wind is. The men, the sailors, they are not happy. They're like, what are these conditions? Like, hello, why is he not just taking us into port so that we can go stay at this settlement? Like, this is ridiculous. And eventually, the first mate finally decides to approach the captain and suggest that they head into the bay and wait out the storm. But the captain was a very prideful man, and he said that if he could still stand on the deck and smoke his pipe, then these men could surely still sail in these conditions.
Okay.
So that is exactly what he did. He stood out on the deck with his big wooden pipe and smoked as the wind tore through the sails and the men held on for dear life.
I do feel like we should bring back men smoking a pipe.
Totally into pipes.
Like the long pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good look.
Way cooler than a cigarette. And that's hard to say because cigarettes are pretty cool. Sorry. I am sorry, Mom. It's a cool look. Okay. We all watched Grease. Okay.
I do have a picture of my husband from New Year's Eve with like a cigarette in his mouth, and I like snapped a picture really quick, and I almost posted it for his birthday, and he told me not to.
He was like, my mom will hate that. Yeah.
I was like, I thought you looked cool.
Luckily, his mom would never get this far into an episode.
Wouldn't even press start, to be honest.
So the rumblings of the crew after this fact only got worse and worse, right? They are disgruntled at this point. And some people started saying that he must have gone insane. He's gone mad. He's been on the sea too long and he thinks that he owns the place. Others were claiming that he was maybe drunk and so he didn't realize how bad it was, or it was giving him false confidence in the abilities of the ship and the crew. And some even said that maybe he might have been suicidal because the last time that he was on shore, he found out that his wife had left him for another man while he had been at sea previously. These are all rumors, obviously. We don't know what's true and what's not.
Bitch.
Not the Dutchman.
That's just rude.
That is rude.
He's sailing on the 7 seas.
How long your husband goes missing at sea? How long do you wait until you go on a date?
That's so tough.
Like,
because what if he like pops up again?
I know.
You know?
I know. We're talking like a Castaway situation here. Which that bitch did not wait long enough. I stand by that.
You know, I've never seen Castaway.
You need to see it.
How long did she wait?
I don't know, but I was like doing the math. He was gone for like over 5 years, right? And so like that, obviously.
Yeah, 5 years is a long time.
But she has like a toddler and she's married. So that means like she started dating pretty quick and got married real quick and had a kid. Like when you do the math, like let's say they had the kid after they got married, which is, the usual way to do it, especially back in the 90s in a movie, she would have had to start dating like 6 months after he went missing.
Yeah. I would say like the earliest you could start is a year.
Yes. And even then you're pushing it.
Yeah. But
I even say after death, if you know they're dead, a year is, you're pushing it.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Like if that feels too soon.
Yeah.
Especially like when someone's missing, because you're like, what if
they come back? Yeah.
But also I would be like, there's no way after a year that they'd be alive.
Lost at sea. Yeah. Lost at sea is a hard one because that's like,
it's different.
They can't breathe underwater.
Like it's different for me because if I was lost at sea, I'd be dead within 24 hours.
Absolutely gone immediately.
Right. So like that's different.
Yeah. So you're like, well, clearly they're dead.
But like someone else that maybe could survive.
Lost anywhere, really. If we lose you for like a couple hours, I'm like, she's probably
you lose
dead.
me in the mall. Like I'm probably gone.
We're going to find her in a trash can in 6 months because she curled up in there for some reason.
Yeah.
No one put her in there. She just did it.
She's like, she ate too many Panda Express.
Yeah. She was like digging for Wetzel's pretzels in there and just tripped. So, and back to the story. So no matter the cause, no matter why he wanted to stay out there, the sailors were not willing to risk their own lives for the ego of just one man, and a mutiny began to form.
Oh.
So at this point, massive waves are slamming into the side of the ship like every 30 seconds, right? And it's taking everything in these sailors' bones to keep the sails from ripping and all the rigging to like rip straight out of the deck. Like they're trying to hold everything as tight as they can, but like they're just dudes, you know? There's guys being guys. And this
smoking a pipe.
Yeah, and he's literally just standing up there like fucking swaying with the boat and smoking his pipe. Like
he's like, we're still good.
I'm doing my thing. What are you guys?
You guys
up
are
to?
fucking pathetic down there.
Yeah, grow up. And this is when the group of mutineers decide to make their move.
Oh, I never thought mutineers.
Mutineers, yeah.
Oh, I like it.
And so they spring upon the captain in an attempt to wrestle him to the ground and take control of the ship. But right as they go to do this, a massive wave tips the boat and water rushes over the deck, sending all of the mutineers flying in different directions, and everyone's slipping and sliding, just trying to hold on for dear life to not fall off the ship. And during this, the captain jumps to his feet, grabs the head of the rebellion, the head mutineer, and stabs him in the stomach, twists the knife, and throws him overboard to teach them a lesson.
Whoa. Mm-hmm. I didn't think the captain had it in him.
Oh, he had it in him.
Wow.
And in him. And this is when that one got you, huh?
It was funny.
And this is when a booming voice is heard, louder than the deafening crashing of the waves. It's so loud, the sailors, they're holding their hands over their ears in like agony because it's so loud. And they hear, "Do you mean to sail here, Captain? Do you mean to put your crew and your ship into God's wrath?"
It was God?
Maybe we'll get there.
Oh, shit.
And the captain replies, "Yes, I would rather be damned to hell than dock my ship in the bay."
I'm starting to think the captain's a little evil.
A little kooky wooky, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. The voice cries out again, "As a result of your actions, you are condemned to sail the oceans for eternity with a ghostly crew of dead men, bringing death to all who sight your spectral ship, to never make port or know a moment's peace. Furthermore, gall shall your drink and red-hot iron your meat." And the captain only replied, "Amen."
Ooh.
He's cold as ice. You got to give him that.
He really is, yeah.
He's cool as a fucking cucumber.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. He said, "Please," actually.
Captain don't give no fucks.
Yeah, does not care. So some say the voice was God. Others say it was the devil. And that throwing the man into the sea acted as a sacrifice to the devil or God. But either way, from that day forward, the Dutchman and his crew were cursed to sail the 7 seas, unable to satiate their hunger or thirst or to find peace in a safe harbor. The sight of their ghostly ship will bring bad news for anyone unfortunate enough to cross its path.
That does sound like a fate worse than going to hell.
Yes.
When you're just like sailing and sailing and sailing, you're like, I can't ever
you
get into port.
Well, once again, and I think it had to have been the first Pirates of the Caribbean because they steal that like coin. That's what curses them. Remember?
Then it can't be the octopus guy.
No, I think that was a Cthulhu. That's the Call of Cthulhu one.
I have no idea.
So this, like, and they say this in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, like no matter, you're so thirsty, but every time you try to drink, it doesn't make you, like, it doesn't
quench your
thirst. It turns
thirst.
into ash in your mouth. Every time you try to eat, it doesn't, like, you're so hungry, you're starving, but you can't, like, nothing, like it said, meat will be like hot red iron in your mouth. So it doesn't matter how hungry you are, you can eat and eat and eat and it will just be pain. Like, that would be the worst part. Like,
Yeah.
When I was sick, all I wanted was to chug a glass of water, but I was so sick that if I even like took too big of a sip, it would make me throw up. And like, I remember I kept texting him like, all I want to do is chug water. Like, I'm so thirsty. Like, that feeling sucks so bad.
Well, maybe don't twist your knife into one of your crew members
and send him overboard.
Yeah, that's just disrespectful.
Rude. So since this time, the Flying Dutchman has been spotted in various parts of the ocean. In a book called Travels in Various Parts of Europe, Asia, and Africa, during a series of 30 years and upward, which was published in 1790, one of the chapters reads, quote, "The weather was so stormy that the sailors said that they saw the Flying Dutchman. The common story is that the Dutchman came to the Cape in distress of weather and wanted to get into the harbor, but could not get a pilot to conduct her, and was lost. And ever since then, very bad weather, her vision appears."
I love a ghost ship.
Love a ghost ship. There's a similar tale that's told in a book that was published in 1795 by a notable London socialite named George Barrington.
How were there books back then? That's just crazy.
That they would write books.
Yeah. Like, that's insane. What are they writing with? A quill?
A quill, I guess. Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
There was no ballpoint pen yet.
No, insane.
Yeah. So he wrote a very similar story about seeing the Dutchman with bad waters in a book called A Voyage to Botany Bay, which was once again published in 1795. So the main association with seeing the Dutchman is bad weather, of course, and also hurricanes. So there's been multiple times before hurricanes all over the world where people have reported seeing a ghost-like ship, and then suddenly brilliant blue skies turn to dark, turbulent ones within minutes of seeing her. Yeah, seeing that ship.
I'm just saying.
I do love that ships are girls.
Ships are definitely girls because they're beautiful and majestic. Like a woman.
Yes, just like a woman.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And all the crew members are from, back then. We're
beautiful,
always
majestic,
men.
Tons of men inside.
Yeah. Exactly.
We'll carry you to safety even if we don't like you.
Sometimes, yeah. Or we'll throw you overboard.
Yeah, might throw you overboard. Depends on the time of the month. But
I do love an Omen story.
Yes. And that's basically what this is. Like, you will see her, you will see the ship and the Flying Dutchman up there smoking his pipe. A lot of people will see that.
Wait, whoa. Okay, hold on. The Flying Dutchman is the captain?
Yes.
I thought the Flying Dutchman was the ship itself.
So it's kind of both.
Okay.
Like, I think it's just like synonymous. It's like one of those things like Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster. Like, we're working with the same thing here.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
So he's up there smoking his crack pipe.
It's not crack.
I mean,
it technically could be. I would assume not. Crack is a little past his time.
Oh, that's true. This is
the 1600s.
1600s, you're right.
Well, but people are still seeing him. So, okay. About the Cape of Good Hope, which ironically, because it's called the Cape of Good Hope, there are a lot of legends, especially back in the 1600s, from sailors that is where the devil lives.
Oh, really?
Is off the Cape of Good Hope. Yeah.
He would live there,
Yeah.
Just to fuck with you.
Just to fuck with you. And in 1678, a captain and his men reportedly traveled the distance of 3 months worth of travel in 10 days to deliver a stockpile of letters to the Dutch governor from the East Indies. And because it was so fast and other people had also reported somehow getting through this area way faster than they should, people did begin to suspect that the captain had worked with the devil, or that the devil worked in that area and was like allowing people to do supernatural things like in exchange for like their soul or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, this checks out. You say yes?
Yeah, I say yes.
Amanda says fact checked and yes.
I say that I know for a fact the devil lives in the Cape of Good Hope.
There you go. Tell everyone you know.
I know for a fact.
Tell your mom.
Facts.
Tell your mom. Tell your dad. Tell your brother. Tell your dog.
He lives there.
He lives there. That's where he lives. If you need him, there he is.
There he is. Go find him. Don't look at me.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is from South Africa. Sorry, it's too easy. The jokes write themselves. It's not my fault. Okay.
Yeah, don't blame us.
Don't be mad at me.
And don't comment about it on Spotify. I don't care.
Jokes write themselves. Okay. All right. So there have been other more modern sightings of the Flying Dutchman. For example, Nicholas Montserrat, who was a Royal Navy officer during World War II, wrote in his 1951 biography that he believed he had seen the Flying Dutchman in the Pacific Ocean while serving in the Navy. And then they had hit turbulent waters right after. The ship has also been seen off the coast of Australia and was even reported in the diary of a group of British royals off of the coast of Melbourne back in 1881. So they had written that they felt like they saw this ghost-like ship. They were describing what seemed like the Flying Dutchman, and then a horrible storm hit the coast that night.
Well, maybe instead of writing about it, get out of there.
Well, they were writing in their diary. It's like, dear diary, today
I know, but we know that every time we see it, something happens.
Maybe they didn't know yet.
That's true, but...
It's 1881. There was no podcasts.
You're right. I don't know what I'm thinking.
But so it's not just on the same path that they used to take for the trade routes back in the day. Like, it seems to be kind of all over. So I'm going to leave you with how to identify whether or not you are seeing the Flying Dutchman.
Please tell me.
So one of the biggest thing that people who have seen this ship report is that it is a large, obviously old-looking, piratey type ship that will be sailing through the water but does not disrupt the water at all. So obviously, normally when there is a ship or a boat going through the water, you can see like the ripples or like some waves coming off of it. This will just be sailing through like glass over the ocean.
Ooh.
You might also see what seems to be a ship sailing with ripped sails or no sails at all because of the turbulent weather that they went through.
Okay.
And people have also reported seeing the ship in a distance and feeling like a gut reaction of like, uh-oh, bad news, you know, like when you get like that bad, really bad gut rot feeling in your stomach. And of course, afterwards, you might encounter some of that infamous, very random bad weather that might be trying to capsize you, baby girl.
That's very interesting because typically when we have covered like ghost ships in the past, one specific one I'm thinking of, they were floating above the water.
Yeah, so basically it's like, okay, it doesn't disrupt the water at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like just gliding through. I
Because
like
it's a
that.
ghost ship, baby.
That's right, baby. And ghost ships can do whatever the fuck they want.
And more power to them.
Yeah. Like if they want to float above the water, let them. If they want to glide on water like it's fucking glass, let them.
Let them.
You know?
Yeah. But so that is the story and legend of the Flying Dutchman.
That's
one of the most famous ghost ships of all time.
I love it.
It's something that like people have brought up to me or like mentioned, and obviously it's like so steeped in pop culture. But like I really didn't know anything about like the actual legend behind it, so I thought that was like a fun one.
No, it is really fun.
Yeah.
I didn't remember if it was like the ship or the guy.
Yeah.
Like pirating the ship, if that's what you call it.
Captaining
the ship. But I do like. So do you know? Is it like imperative that you see the guy smoking the pipe to know it's the Flying Dutchman?
Most people usually see it like kind of far off.
Okay.
Like in the distance. Like they'll be at the beach or they'll be on their boat or their ship and they'll see it like in the distance and they'll be like, that's so weird. That looks like wrong, right? Like they'll be like, that's so weird.
Well, especially now because it's not modern.
Exactly. Yeah. But then there have been people who have encountered it closer and said that they saw him standing on the deck smoking his pipe.
I'm sorry, but like, it's like, what could make the ocean even more scary?
Yeah, right?
Seeing a fucking ghost ship with its ghost captain.
And it means that you're about to have really bad weather.
Yeah, and then a hurricane is going to fucking happen. Like, this is why I don't go
That's why she doesn't go in the ocean.
It's terrifying.
I know. It's so sad, too, because I really want to do, like, a yacht trip.
With who?
Like where you, like, rent a yacht and, like, go to Catalina or whatever.
Who do you think you are?
Well, not you, obviously.
You want to rent a yacht and go to Catalina
Listen,
Island.
I saw a Groupon. And it like wasn't that much money. And then like if you had and you're allowed to have like 6 people and it wasn't that much money. And I was like, okay, between 6 people, that's like not a bad little like weekend thing.
Listen, I'll go.
Because you get to like go to Catalina Island and then you like instead of staying in a hotel, you like sleep on the yacht.
Oh no, I won't do that.
Yeah, see what I mean? Like
I love Catalina Island.
And you're like you're literally you and your husband would be.
Listen,
I need you. I don't think that's as many friends as I have.
Cassidy, I saw your wedding list.
It's
you
bleak.
need me. You literally need me.
Thank God I have like 18 brothers and sisters and step parents and oh my God. Yeah. You got me there.
I would rather sleep with the fucking wild boar on
Catalina
Island.
I know you would.
Well, thank you so much. That was really fun.
Yeah, of course. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, I love a sexy good time.
Yeah, me too.
All right. So, hello. We're back. My turn. Before we continue, I forgot, because we were off last week, I wanted to wish a happy birthday to one of our biggest fans.
Who?
Because she loves us so damn much and looks forward to watching the videos every single week.
Your mom?
My mother turned 70 last Sunday.
Happy birthday.
Yes. And I just wanted to wish her a happy birthday. And
we love Mama Goodness.
Love her so much. She's one of DTK's #1 fans.
Mm-hmm.
So
it took her a while to figure out how to listen to it, but once she did, nonstop.
It did take her a while. And even now that we have YouTube, she's like, I'm like, well, if we don't post a video, like, you can still listen. She goes, I don't know how to do that. So I'm like, you listened before we had YouTube.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I
remember you went to go visit her in Florida, and you like showed her how to use the podcast app. Yeah,
but that's okay. That's okay. She gets there eventually.
We're all learning at our own pace,
and we love you, Mama Goodness. Happy birthday!
We do. Happy birthday.
That being said, she originally had requested me to do like an animal story where an animal doesn't die. Could not find one for the life of me. Everything I found, there was dead animals.
And the worst part is, even if you tell a story where the animal didn't die, it's dead now usually.
That's so true. So
I saw somebody post that on like, it was like some picture or video from like a movie with an animal in it, and the top comment was, isn't it so sad that they're absolutely dead by now? And I was like, what a weird thing to that's even weird for me. It sounds like a me comment, but even that's a little weird for me.
Yeah, it's weird to think about.
Yeah.
Weird to talk about.
Yeah.
So sorry about that. Couldn't find one. So sorry, that's not what we're talking about. Went a different route here, and we're going to talk about Frank Shaw and the Gargoyle.
Okay, I'm into it.
My sources were cryptopia.us by Rob Morphy, anomalien.com by Jake Carter, the Houston Press by Jeff Runer, to contrive and jive.wordpress.com.
Love that.
And cryptids.fandom.com. All right. So, way back in my day, in episode 82 of Drinking the Kool-Aid podcast.
Way back in the day.
Yes. I covered the very broad topic of gargoyles and grotesques and like what they are, which for me that doesn't feel like that long ago. Like, I remember that episode.
I don't.
Really?
No, I don't remember anything we've ever done, basically.
I usually don't, but I do remember the gargoyle one. Like, and I remember talking about it. So when I saw that it was episode 82, I was like, holy shit,
yeah, that's
crazy.
So long ago.
But if you haven't listened, go listen. It's fun.
Somebody, JD was like, hey, you should cover this Operation Stargate. And I was like, I did that like a long time ago. I remember because it was the first request that Andrew ever gave me when we had like just started dating. He was like, you should cover this thing. And now look at us engaged. And he literally goes, oh my gosh, it was episode like 54 or something. And I was like, yeah, almost 200 episodes ago.
Yeah,
like that's crazy.
Literally wild.
Yeah.
Can't believe we've been doing this for that long.
I know.
So today, if you don't know about gargoyles, go listen to that. But we're going to talk about a possible gargoyle encounter.
Okay.
Maybe.
Like a cryptidy gargoyle?
Question mark. We'll see.
All right.
Our story begins one evening in 1986 when a man named Frank Shaw was leaving work at the Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes. Frank Shaw, he worked for NASA. And his job title was archivist, which I believe is someone that like handles researching and archiving things.
All the data and everything's collected and properly taken care of. Yeah.
That was just a simple guess based on the name of his job title. But he did work for NASA, which is cool. So Frank is leaving work one day after being there all day, archiving things.
In the stacks.
Researching, archiving. And he's walking to the parking lot when he starts to get an eerie feeling like he's being watched.
Okay.
So he kind of like looks around. He's feeling a little weird. And when he looks up, he gets frozen in horror at what he sees. Perched on a building that is overlooking the parking lot and the Space Center, Frank sees a large man-like figure that was black in color.
Okay.
So Frank is standing there in the parking lot, frozen in fear, can't move, but he is still able to like fully take in what he's seeing physically, even though he can't move.
Like he can't move, like he feel because he's scared.
Because he's so scared.
Okay.
Yeah. He's not like paralyzed or anything, but he's just so terrified that he's like, if I move, maybe this thing is gonna like come down and get me like an eagle and a dog.
Yeah, just scoops you up and carries you away.
What I'm
like you're like
imagining.
Yorkie poo or something.
So Frank is able to like fully see this thing, and he describes it as, you know, like I said, a large humanoid figure that's all black. And he says he sees a large cape draped across its shoulders and two huge wing-like appendages sticking out of the cape.
Okay.
He also said that the cape wasn't made out of like materials or fabric, but it was the same texture as the rest of the creature's skin.
Got it, which is giving stone a little bit.
A little bit of stone, a little bit of a skin cape we got going on.
Been there, brother.
Listen, if you haven't seen something with a skin cape, I don't know.
You haven't skin caped every once in a while.
I don't know what you're doing.
You are not living, okay?
The creature then seemed to notice that Frank was watching him. And according to Frank, he got the impression that the creature was relishing in the fact that he was being watched.
Ah, okay.
And he seemed to really enjoy the fact that he was kind of scaring Frank.
Got it. We got a little freakadeek over here. He's getting off on it.
He's a little freaky, if you know what I mean. And Frank said that he's like perched up on this building and he kind of tilts his head down and starts to devilishly grin down at Frank.
Ooh, we got a Kubrick stare happening.
Like he's getting pleasure out of this moment. Give it to me. Oh, that's giving smile.
A little, yeah. Devilish.
A little devilish. Little freaky deaky.
Freaky deaky.
The creature then spread out its giant wings, which Frank said seemed more bat-like than bird-like. And they made a cracking noise as they slowly flapped in the strong howling winds of the night as he flew away.
Okay.
So it's not like this guy was like trying to hurt him.
No, he just was devilishly staring.
He was just like, I see you watching me, you little bitch.
Yeah. I see you seeing me. I'm seeing you seeing me.
Yeah. And he's looking at me.
And he looks at me. And I look at him. And he looks at me. And I look at him.
Yes, queen. So once the creature was out of his sight, Frank immediately starts running to his car. You know, he's like running, he's tripping, he's falling. He starts to like try to grab his keys out of his pocket. He's fumbling with his keys because he's shaking so much. It's like your picture perfect horror movie scene.
Yeah, where you're like, get it together.
Yeah. But he finally gets the car door open and he gets in the car and he fucking books it out of the parking lot as fast as he can, and he drives straight home.
I don't blame him.
Frank's wife and daughter Desiree, they had been waiting for him to come home, but they weren't really alarmed by the fact that he was a little late because he kind of worked a job where sometimes he would be working later than usual. Yeah. They never really knew if he was coming home.
And what year is this?
This is 1986.
Yeah, so he doesn't have like a phone. He can't like shoot a text like, hey, running a little late or whatever. Yeah.
So like sometimes he would be a little late from work just because he had to like finish up some paperwork, archiving things.
You know, he works for NASA, people.
You guys know how those archive people work.
Those archivists,
you know, especially for NASA.
Yeah.
So when he finally walks in the door, they're not like alarmed that he's late. However, they look at him and they see that he's like visibly shaken up And they're like, holy shit, what the fuck happened to you? Like,
Yeah.
clearly something happened. When he was finally able to calm down and compose himself, he tells his wife and his daughter all about this encounter that he has and the creature that he had seen. And by all accounts, they both completely believed him.
Yeah.
They were like, you know, he's not really the type of man that would make something crazy like that up.
I mean, here's the thing. If you love and you trust somebody, you believe them when they tell you, even if it sounds crazy. I would hope. I mean, that's why everyone hates all those like horror movie husbands, right? Because they don't believe their wives.
Yeah, typically they don't.
Yeah.
right?
And so it's like, I'm sorry. If I
They're
came
like,
home.
honey, it's just the floor creaking. No,
Yeah.
bitch, believe me.
I should be able to come home to my husband and tell him, I just saw someone walking down the street. Their skin was purple. They had 3 heads and they were breathing fire. And he better go, oh my gosh, that's crazy. I can't
Yeah.
believe you saw that.
Oh my gosh, are you okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He should not be asking any other questions besides
Yeah,
concern.
like, are you sure? Are you sure you saw that? No, I did.
It was probably just a parade or something that you missed. Shut up. Believe
Shut up.
me.
Yeah. So they do believe him, and you know, they're fully supporting him. But his wife did tell him, like, hey, like, I love you. I believe you.
Maybe don't tell other people.
But yeah, let's keep this between us. Like,
Which I think is fair.
maybe let's not go to work and tell your bosses or your
Yes.
superiors about this, because there was a part of her that, like, even though she believed him, she was like, he could lose his job. He works
Yeah.
for NASA.
Yeah.
If he starts to spout these words, like, I saw a winged creature perched on the fucking building staring at me, they're going to think he's crazy.
No, I think that that's very fair.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, you're right. Like, I better keep this to myself. Like, I'll do that. Unfortunately for Frank, the memory of that night would plague his thoughts every morning and every night, 24 hours a day for the next few weeks. So obviously, you know, Frank wanted to believe that maybe he had just been really sleepy that particular night. He was stressed out from working. Maybe he was just seeing things, you know, like he just was tired and he saw that. But the vision of the creature being perched on the building and smiling down at him and all these like very detailed descriptions of what it looked like just were constantly popping into his head, that he was like, no, like, I know I saw this. I know this was real. I know this happened to me.
Yeah.
And it just got to a point with him where he was like, I can't take this anymore. And he decided that he needed to go and tell his supervisor about what happened.
Okay. Not what I would do personally.
What would you do? Keep it in?
Not tell my job. I would tell everybody else I ever met in my entire life, but I definitely wouldn't tell my boss.
Well, he was like, you know, this happened at my job at work, and every time I go to work, I feel unsafe. I feel scared.
Yeah.
So he just felt like he needed to tell them. So the next day he goes into work and he finds his like direct supervisor that worked in his specific area of archiving.
Mm-hmm.
And
Head archivist.
you know, I'm very focused on this.
I know you are. You're really concerned about
archiving
his
situation.
career path here.
And he tells him the entire story. And he's like, you know, he's fully expecting some backlash or some kind of mockery or whatever for him to not believe him.
Yeah.
But to his surprise, that is not what happened.
Ruh-roh. Maybe this has happened before, mister.
He thinks this might have happened before. So instead, the supervisor tells Frank that he is not the first person to have an encounter with a creature like this at the Johnson Space Center. And he continues on to tell him that there is actually a secret file that has been opened like a few months before Frank's experience.
Okay.
So apparently at the Space Center, and let me just say also that this was written about in like a Houston online journal or newspaper.
This is like the Houston Chronicle, right?
Yeah, something like that.
I remember reading like the long read about it.
Yeah, so it's not like it was just only written about in like fandom accounts. Like this was actually reported in a newspaper in Texas.
Yeah.
So allegedly this file is real. So apparently at the Space Center, they had these 2 guard dogs like that were on the base, and they were German Shepherds. And the secret file had been started after the corpses of the 2 dogs were found with their blood completely sucked out of them.
Are you happy now, Annette? There's your dog story.
No, I forgot about
Are you happy? Happy birthday.
I'm sorry, Mom.
She's gasping, crying.
Yeah, she's like, why did you do this?
Why would you do this to me?
It's my 70th birthday.
My daughter hates me.
Oh, damn. So these dogs were found in the parking lot in the exact area that Frank had seen the creature.
Got it. I was going to say, so like even more.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this file also allegedly contains dozens of NASA employee eyewitness testimonies of this creature that everyone seems to describe the exact same way. Like with the fucking skin cape and everything.
I was going to say, if there's multiple people who haven't talked to each other but have seen the same thing, that's pretty good corroborating evidence.
Yes.
Corroborating
Stop.
evidence.
I knew you were going to fucking say that. And I was like, oh, good. I'm glad she said that word and I didn't have to say that word. But then you just did it anyway. It's fine.
I'm sorry. It's too easy. Princess.
One day I'll say it right. Probably not. So after Frank had told his story to his supervisor, this ends up kind of making its way up to the tippy top of the NASA officials. They're like, Frank saw this, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's talking.
Things are getting serious.
Yeah. And that's when Frank and his family are visited by 2 men in black suits.
Imagine that.
How did you guess?
Here come the men in black. Another great series. I watched all of those movies.
You did recently. I remember. Yeah.
Incredible. Even the newest one was like really fun.
Yeah, I gotta rewatch all these movies.
10 out of 10.
Okay,
we watched
so now,
all of them one night.
So now I have to watch Pirates of the Caribbean and all the Men in Black.
Men in Black, yeah.
Okay.
Hard agree.
So these 2 men were allegedly NASA security people, quote unquote.
That's what they all say.
That was all the information that was given to Frank. And they came to his door and they're like, hey, dude, you should probably not tell anyone else about what you saw that night and probably pretend like it never happened.
Yeah.
Just our opinion, you know?
In our humble, very scary opinion, this is probably what you should do.
Just do that. Pretend like it never happened. Go back to work. Go about your daily activities and never speak about this again. And that's exactly what Frank does.
I mean, fair, yeah.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do?
He continues on with his life like he had never seen the creature, goes back to work, does his daily things, and moves on. So the only reason we even know about this story is because Desiree Shaw, Frank's daughter, ended up telling her dad's tale 18 years later.
Oh, wow.
In the late 2000s.
Okay.
So obviously, people think it took 18 years to get this story out there because they were silenced by these 2 NASA security people that showed up. And this is also after her dad's death as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's not like in danger or whatever.
Yes. So now, although this creature is typically described as a kind of like living gargoyle, the description does bear a resemblance to a guy we all know very well. The Mothman.
Ah, yes.
So I thought this was pretty interesting. Once again, not to plug older episodes, but if you don't know
about, like, not to plug myself,
not to plug every single episode I've covered throughout the last 5 years. But if you don't know about the Mothman, we did cover that back in episode 30.
Oh, it's so long ago.
Way in the backlog. But the thing about the Mothman is that he is believed, kind of like the Flying Dutchman, to be an omen of something possibly bad that's about to happen.
A harbinger of doom.
Correct. So infamously, the Mothman was sighted on the Silver Bridge right before it collapsed, killing 46 people. Another Mothman-like creature that I covered in episode 126.
Oh my God.
The Owlman of Cornwall. Also did similar things, like kind of was an omen of bad news. But this theory of the NASA Gargoyle either being Mothman himself, possibly, or being an omen of things like bad things yet to come.
Mm-hmm.
This comes from a journalist, Rob Morphy, that I sourced in the beginning. But he put out this theory that in January of 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger disaster happened.
Yes.
That killed, 7 crew members that were on board.
Mm-hmm.
And this gargoyle creature was seen in 1986, that same year. So either this could have been like an omen for that, had he been seen in the very beginning of 1986, because we don't know exactly what month he was seen, or that he's like, hey, I saw that disaster happen. I got to pop on over to the Johnson Space Center and I got to watch over them and make sure nothing bad happens over there, kind of thing. Obviously, this is almost a decade later to the sighting of Frank Shaw, but there was an attack on the Johnson Space Center in 1995 when it was bombed.
Okay.
So, who's to say that the gargoyle wasn't still there watching over things and monitoring the Space Center? And just because...
Maybe he left to get a snack and that's when the bombing happened. Listen, a gargoyle can't be everywhere at once.
You literally never know. You never know what happened. He could have been watching over it all these years and everyone's just getting silenced every time they fucking see him. So we don't know. Frank Shaw is the only really account that we even really know about, even though there's allegedly this secret file of dozens and dozens of people that have seen him. But yeah, gargoyles got to eat, right?
Yeah. Everybody deserves a lunch break. He's probably union.
Girls got to eat.
Yeah.
Come on. So like I said, we really only have Desiree's account of what her father told her. But she claims that she very, very vividly remembers her dad coming home that night in 1986, where he was like super upset.
And how old was she at this point?
She was like pretty young. I don't know her exact age. I want to say she was probably in her early teens, maybe a little.
Yeah, I was thinking like
that.
13 for some reason. Because I know this story and for some reason my brain is saying 13, but I don't know if that's
They
right
never
or not.
say her full age, but she was a full-on adult when she talked about this. And that was 18 years later, so I would assume probably around there. And she also said she vividly remembers the 2 men dressed in black coming to visit the house. So it's like she remembers. So it's like how I don't know.
Old enough to know.
Yeah. And like I've said this before on the podcast, but I'm always kind of inclined to believe people that work for places like NASA.
Yeah,
because they're
obviously.
like fucking scientists. And I'm like, why would you lie about that? Why would you put yourself out there to be succumbed to embarrassment and mockery when you're a fucking scientist?
Or to lose your job or whatever. Yeah.
Like that would be insane.
Yeah. You're an archivist.
You're a fucking archivist for NASA, archiving all the research that you're doing.
All the research.
Why would you want to lose that?
Well, do you want to know my theory?
Yes, tell me, please.
I think they opened a portal. This is some other being from a different portal, like universe.
Okay.
I don't know. Sorry, I don't trust science. I mean, I trust it. I'm saying like get your vaccines and stuff, but like I don't trust science. Like it scares me, and I think that they can do more scary shit than they let on to personally.
No, that's fair. That's totally fair.
And as a certified dumbass, I think it's my right to be afraid of what they're up to.
No, absolutely. And also, I did see a theory that was talking about like a vampire creature or like a chupacabra almost, because those dogs were sucked.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Clean, dry.
That's crazy.
And they were saying like, skirt.
Yeah, that's
maybe
giving
it's
like
something different.
That's giving like cattle mutilation.
Yeah, like something else, that because I've never heard of a gargoyle sucking blood out of an animal.
I'm just saying it sounds like an other dimensional being. It sounds like it's none of my business. And
it's definitely none of my business.
Please don't come to my town.
And NASA,
Long Beach, we have enough.
Please don't come
gargoyles
to me either.
NASA, mind your business. Keep that portal closed.
Keep it closed. Don't stop me at the airport.
No, I'm sorry. This is a comedy podcast. I'm so sorry.
Like, please don't question
Cut
me.
it out.
Because I will just throw Cassidy under the bus.
She would immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
I'm going to say, don't look at me. I don't know shit. Look at my co-host.
They'd be going through my text messages.
She's talking about the government, the Pope, Disney. Don't look at me.
The big three. Government, Pope, and Disney.
Look at me. I just talk about cryptids. which are probably fake.
She doesn't even believe. See, NASA?
Wink, wink, wink.
She doesn't even believe. Wink.
I gotta put it out there. I gotta let them think that. Okay.
Well, I love that story.
Yeah, it's fun.
Because Gargoyle, hello,
a gargoyle.
And I loved the show. I know we probably talked about this in episode 87 or whatever.
You did. You brought it up.
Love the show Gargoyles so much. I still watch it sometimes on YouTube.
That big gargoyle that's in the show, like the big purple one, that's what I kind of picture when I think of what Frank described.
Yeah,
too.
just like, but with a cape.
A skin cape.
Yeah, skin cape. Well, I mean, it's not even skin. It's like he's all the same material because he's a gargoyle.
Yeah, but it's attached to him, but it looks like a skin.
I also, like, when the first time I ever read, because like I read some long read about this forever ago. I think it might have been in the Houston Chronicle. I can't remember.
Probably.
But I also picture kind of like a Jeepers Creepers.
Someone said that in, it must have been in that article because I read that in the article.
Yeah, because that's like what I picture, like Jeepers Creepers, and he's got that like duster jacket that looks like skin.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like
someone
what I
literally said that in one of the articles, so I would imagine it was that.
Yeah, great tale.
Two great tales.
We're weaving tales. We're spinning yarn. We're doing things.
This was a tale of two cities.
The tale as old as tales. And even better, I just pulled up a listener story.
Is it a tale?
It's about a talisman.
Ooh, I like it.
So how about we round this out with a listener story?
Let's do it.
So this is from Jessica R.
Hello, Jessica R.
And she titled this email in all caps, Do I have a talisman? Sorry, I don't know why I couldn't say that.
Talisman?
Do I have a talisman?
You might, just by that.
So Jessica says, hi, ladies. Love the podcast. Hope work picks back up so I can join the Patreon. I listened to the latest episode, Burn It Down, and found Amanda's story oddly familiar.
Burn It Down? I don't even remember.
I think it's like, it was like dolls.
Oh, probably.
I collect old, odd, and creepy clowns.
What?
I went to a garage sale, and it was a whole family at this one spot. I found this little kind of beat up clown without a price tag. And when I asked how much it was, they responded, "You want it? Really? You can have it for free." And then proceeded to tell me that it was found in the attic of their longtime family home, but no one, including the Grands, recognized it.
That's not a good sign.
They did not like it, and they wanted it gone. I happily brought it home, even though it was a clearly haunted clown.
They're like, thank God we found this fucking freak on the streets that wants my clown.
Girl, same. Me with all my
I mean freak in a loving
way. I brought it home with me, and he has not caused me any trouble. I think he likes being somewhere that he's appreciated, and possibly with other haunted clown things. Again, love the pod. I listen every week, and that includes the entire backlog. I'm in Ohio, and I'm from a literal village, less than 100 people, or less than 1,000 people, and have another insane story about the haunted mill in my town. I will send it another time. Keep drinking the Kool-Aid, Jessica.
Okay. Do you want to hear about the haunted mill?
About the haunted mill? Also, 10 out of 10, that's a haunted clown.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm sure he is having a good time hanging out with his new haunted siblings.
Yeah.
I love that for him.
I think I've said this on the podcast before, but my grandpa loved clowns.
Really?
Oh, so much.
Okay.
Like do you know what a yadro is?
Maybe.
It's like a little glass figurine.
Oh, yes,
type of thing. So my mom and my grandma collected yadros.
Yes, that's just a very that's like the Italian American word for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my grandpa, there was one that was a clown that my grandpa had picked out, and he loved, like, that was his favorite thing. He used to sing a song to me.
Oh boy. I'm ready.
Be a clown, everybody loves a clown. They go like this and go like that, and everybody laughs.
So I guess, like, before our generation, or maybe the generation, like, grandparents' generation at least, like, clowns weren't like considered a scary thing.
No, he loved it. He had figurines. He literally had clown figurines.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like that's such like an old person thing to like not think clowns are scary, because like now, like, clowns are scary.
They're
like,
pretty
considered
fucking scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm scared of them.
I wonder what turned the tide. Maybe it was the movie It really just ruined clowns.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Like I'm scared of them, but every once in a blue moon when I do hear a tale, like Jessica told us, I do think of my grandpa and how he loved clowns,
them.
and it gives me kind of like a fond, like I'm like, oh, he
you have
loved
like
them.
a positive memory.
Yeah.
I wasn't really even clown adjacent, I don't think, at all as a child, so I was never really dealing.
I wonder.
with the
I bet
clowns.
my mom probably has that clown Yadro still. I bet. I gotta ask her about that.
You should, yeah.
No, she's listening to this.
Hey, mom,
Call me.
call her about the Yadro. Well, yeah, thank you so much for sending that in. And if you have a listener story you would like to send in, you can do that at dtkpod.com/contact, or you can email us at drinkthekooladpod@gmail.com. We love the stories. We don't care what they're about. If they're fun, funny, scary, spooky, conspiracies, whatever, we love them. Send them on in.
We love them. If you're just telling us how much you love us, we
like
love
that
them.
too. Amanda loves that extra.
I do.
But thank you guys so much for listening. And if you haven't left us a 5-star review wherever you're listening right now, make sure you go do that. If it's a written review, even better. We dig it. But most importantly, make sure you keep that front door locked.
Make sure you keep your mind open.
And keep drinking the Kool-Aid.